Recently, we did an episode of the podcast about 5 habits that women or men who always hit their goals do. Like, what are the habits of the people who find the most success, who find the most traction? What are the things they are doing day in, day out? But the one habit, if I have to choose, that I think is most important is the ability to stay focused on where you are going. It sounds really simple and is actually really difficult to pull off. So I would love to take you guys through a couple of tactics that I do, most specifically my batch work. We're going to get into my calendar, which is crazy and color-coded and very intense. And then I'm going to show you how I create a list every single day that makes sure that I'm making great strides. Before we jump into that, I need to tell you why I'm dressed like this. I had a photo shoot today. We're in the midst of creating new editorial for the website, and that meant I needed to take a bunch of pictures, which, as a side note, is my least favorite part of my job. We have the best people to do the least favorite thing, so it is not as terrible as it could be, even though it is 100 degrees and I am dressed in a fall outfit. When I go to a photo shoot, because I'm so exhausted, because I don't really enjoy having my picture taken, I often wear sort of like my cool but still very schlumpy clothes to the photo shoot. So I have, giant track pants and one of my favorite t-shirts, which is big and oversized. And I wore this to the shoot, had my hair and makeup done. And then when I was done, I was really, really tired. And I just wanted to put on comfy clothes again, which I did. But I had already laid out the most important things for me to accomplish today. The photo shoot was definitely one. Another one was I promised the editing team that I would record this video for you. And as I was driving away from the photo shoot, I'm like, oh crap, I am not in a really cute, stylish, professional outfit. I am in my photo shoot clothes. I started to fight myself on, well, maybe I could go do this tomorrow, or maybe I could get it to them later. And I'm like, no, dude, it is on your results list for today. And it's on the results list. You have to do it. So the couple of things that I'm going to show you today, you don't have to do. But if you do, I swear to you, it will completely change how much you are able to accomplish this month, because you made those commitments to yourself and you made them sacrosanct and you did not break a promise to yourself and you got it done. Let's dive deeper into the 2 things that I have used for years to stay focused and get closer to my goal every single day. So the first one we're going to talk about is batch work. I am sure that there are a million videos on YouTube about exactly how to do this, but I would like to explain the way I batch my work. I think that this works across any kind of business, across any kind of endeavor. I know it works for someone like me who does a bunch of different things. I own a business, right? I own the media company that creates this video for you, the podcast, the books that I write. That media company has both employees and freelancers who work for it. So I got a big team of people that I am managing. As part of the business, fill in the blank with all the things legal and contracts and just finances, all the, that's part of it too. I got to record a podcast several times a week. I've got to make these videos for you on YouTube. I am writing my next book. I am raising 4 children. I would also like to be a good partner to my husband.
What's happening?
Your eyebrow was
My
a little
eyebrows
wild.
going crazy.
Every single one of the things that I have committed to doing and doing well really require, at least for me, a different part of my brain or even a different persona. The version of me that is making this video for you that has to be on and animated and use my hands, and it's me, right? This is, if you were having coffee with me, this is the exact person that you would get. But that is very different than the energy, than the vibration that I'm bringing to writing a book. I was up this morning at 4 a.m. writing the book in my living room because I'm just trying to get all the things done. The energy that I have, I'm head down. I am focused on what I am trying to do. It's a completely different mindset to write a book than it is to make a video. And trip out on this, it's actually a completely different mindset to record a podcast in audio than it is to record a podcast in audio and video. When I'm just talking to a microphone, when there's nothing, I can look like a potato, and it doesn't matter because I'm recording something in audio. So not only do the different types of work I do require different parts of my brain, they also require different prep. You may have heard on the podcast, I've recorded a ton when I'm in Hawaii with my family. And when I am recording those podcasts in Hawaii, I am probably wearing like a tank top and some cutoff shorts. I am in no way professional. I literally am in a bedroom with my little podcast setup, just getting it done. So the only prep that I need to do for that is exactly what I'm going to say in the episode. Versus if I make a video, not only do I have to prep what I'm going to say to you, but I also have to make sure, allegedly, that I look presentable. And yes, I know I made that video. I've made many videos where I am not that presentable, but I'm still sharing ideas. But best case scenario for me is to be fully prepared, not just in what I'm going to say, but also in how I show up. And as a side note, I hate that this exists, but there's actually data to back up. If a woman does her hair and does her makeup, she's taken more seriously. I know, bros can get on here all the time with like a ball cap and an opinion, and everyone will listen. Speaking of data, there's a ton to support the idea that if you are focused in on one thing, like one type of work, laser focus, that you can quickly get into flow state. If you're not familiar with flow state, please go watch one of the millions of videos here on YouTube.
We've uncovered a major breakthrough in science known as flow state, a superpower every human contains.
But the most important part for me and for you as you are trying to achieve a goal, when you are inside of flow state, I'm pretty sure this is the statistic, and if it's not, we'll have the editing team correct me. It's something like you can produce at a rate 4 times your typical output when you are in flow state.
That's right. You can now be 500% more productive.
Meaning you can actually totally crush it with way less time. Like, have you ever noticed this? Have you ever been about to go on vacation, right? And it's like the Friday before you go on vacation or the Friday before a long weekend, and you have to get all of this work done in order to go on vacation. And all of a sudden, in like the 2 hours before you leave for vacation, you accomplish 10 times as much as you normally do. It's because you've been pushed into flow state by this deadline that you have and your desire to be able to leave and not have to worry about it. For today's purposes, what I want you to understand is that every single time you change what you are doing, every single time you go from one task to another, it takes a while for your brain to reorient itself. So even though you stopped working on emails and started working on that pitch, even if you've started, you're not really in it yet. You're not like crushing it the way that you can because it takes a while for your brain to reorient. But if you stay in the same kind of work all day, not only do you get a crap ton accomplished, you get way more for the time you're committing than you normally would. This is especially important for any of you who have a side hustle or are trying to fit your hopes and dreams into that 4 a.m. window, or you do your 9 to 5 job and then you've got like your 6 to 9 job where you're working on your dream. You really can accomplish so much if you stay focused. I want to actually show you guys my calendar and what batch work looks like for me. But it would be disingenuous for me to tell you that I get to lay out my calendar exactly as I prefer every single week, all week long. It's not the case. In an absolutely perfect world, I would write everything on Monday and I would film everything on Tuesday and I would take meetings on Wednesday. And that's just not the way the world works. When I have a team that's this big and this many things going on, oftentimes I have to slot stuff in. So I still try and keep it relatively tight. You'll see that in my calendar, which is also color-coded. So get ready. The important thing to understand is that I am either batching like hardcore, whole days devoted to something, or I'm batching in chunks, which you will see. And I think honestly, batching in chunks is a lot more realistic to most people because most people don't get full control over the calendar at all times. So let's look at it, shall we? All right, so let me walk you through my very real calendar. But essentially, this is last week. Let me start with my color coding system, which is probably pretty ridiculous, but whatever, it gets the job done. If I wanted to go create a new event in my calendar, I would say I'm going to make a YouTube video. And then down here where this color is, I am going to use the colors that already exist inside of Google Cal, and I am going to make that appointment in my calendar a very specific color. This is a YouTube video, so that means I would be on camera, so I'm going to make it this purple color. What this says to me is that at a glance, at any moment, I can look at my week and know exactly what is expected of me. Now, if I was batch working in the way that I truly want to be batch working all of the time, then you would see whole days where the entire color was the same. So the purple are YouTube videos, and the green is research, and the pink is internal meetings, and the orange is head down work, which usually means writing for me. But if I was going into this week, for instance, you can see that I gave myself a lot more space, but I had a ton of meetings with people outside my company because I'm doing job interviews right now. I know that I'm going to have to be on Zoom meetings all day this day, plus this is a team meeting. So I knew that I needed to prepare in the morning in a better way. So this week was a lot more flowy. I had a photo shoot. You can see that in purple. That's what's happening right now. If I have a week that's as intense as this one, even though it's not super flow state, it is very well organized, and I am still able to hit all of my goals. Now, my husband looks at this and he's like, what the heck? Like, this is the craziest calendar ever. But I love it because I know exactly what my goals are. I've decided on a Sunday, this is what the week is going to hold. And here's the magic of a calendar like this one. If for some reason, and this happened on Monday, I remember, I was meant to shoot 2 YouTube videos. You can see them in purple. Something happened that morning, as something usually does, that made it so I only had time to do 1. What was great is that this was originally here. But the moment, so you can see I was batching being on camera, right? But the moment that needed to get punted, I knew I had this option, I had this option, I had this option. Do you see how I'm sliding this into any available slot? And best case scenario would be to slide it next to something that I'm already going to be in hair and makeup for, so I don't have to do that again. So like, for instance, on Friday, I was doing a live stream in the broadcast channel, which I hope you guys got to go to. But if I needed to find a spot for it, well, I could have just done this. Now I'm in flow state because I'm on camera and my hair and makeup's done, and it's easier. Not everybody is going to be this intense or want to do their calendar this way, but I really love it because if this is the goal, and I know that that's going to take me an hour to pull off, I can basically find any hour slot in my entire week, and it makes sure the job still gets done. What I don't allow myself to do, and maybe you will find this too intense, but I do not allow myself to delete something from the calendar. Worst case scenario, if I couldn't fit it into this week, I would slot it into the following week. But once it's on the calendar, I'm committed to it, and I will move it in order to accomplish it. So if you are sort of type A like I am, this might be a really helpful way for you to organize your calendar. That is a lot of information in a little amount of time to show you a system that I've spent the last 20 years figuring out how to do. If the idea of doing this is overwhelming to you, it does not have to be this intense. The very act of just planning out your week, literally sitting down on Sunday or Saturday or Monday, whatever the beginning of your week is, and planning what are the results that you need to see by the end of this week. So I talked earlier about this idea of not making a to-do list, but making a results list. If all you did was map out 3 things that you want to achieve by the end of this week, and then build your calendar around ensuring that those things get done, dude, I am telling you, you're going to start to see a level of productivity you didn't know you had in you. It's making smarter choices, guys. It's giving up some of the things that feel really good, that feel really comfortable in the moment. We have to give up some things in order to have others. And that's okay, because on the other side of that is a life you didn't know was possible for you and your family. But it does take focusing in on those goals. It does take planning. It does take, executing against what you have planned. Remember that poster I was telling you guys that I saw a while ago that said, essentially, screw your feelings, stick to the plan? I know that seems really harsh, but my feelings can talk me out of doing things all day long. Oh, I'm tired. Oh, I don't feel good. Oh, I'm hormonal. Oh, kids are bugging me. Oh, it's hot. It's really hot right now. All of these things can happen, and it can make me feel like I've got a really good excuse for not doing the thing I said I would do. Just do the thing. Don't listen to your feelings. Focus on what you committed to do. Stick to the plan. Stick to the plan, stick to the plan, stick to the plan. Yeah? If you are still here in this video, says to me that you are really trying to achieve something cool in your life. I would love to hear what that is. Will you take a minute and jump into the comment section and tell us what you're working on? And if you have seen any success with a system like this, do you have a certain way of doing things that I didn't share? Please tell the group. I can't wait to check it out, and I hope this is helpful for you guys. I will be back soon with another conversation. I hope you subscribe. I hope you like this video. We're doing our best to make our YouTube awesome, and we hope you guys love it. We'll be back soon with more content. In the meantime, I love you, and I'm rooting for you. Wow, it's so hot. It's so hot. It's so hot. Perimenopause is real.